Welcome everyone. I've got with me today, and many people will know him already, and the world famous.
Please don't say that.
Pete Sturgess from the FA. So welcome, Peter.
Hi everyone.
So we were just going to record this quick introduction, really, Peter, and we've been speaking over the past year or so, but a lot more recently with what we've been doing at BazookaGoal and with the 3v3. With the air pitches and now moving it on, and we know and it fits in well with what we want to aim for the future. So I just wanted to ask you, really, okay, what's I know, but for everyone listening, what your opinion is then on small sided games like 3v3, 2v2?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally sold on the small number formats. Partly because there's such a close link between smaller formats and players developing their individual skills. So I think it's so important that our young players get exposed to these smaller formats in order to give them the best possible chance to be those really skillful, creative players that we want in the future.
So as part of obviously the England DNA, as it's been out then for a few years, and we're now seeing players come through who have been exposed to that then, all through their childhood and growing up now. And we've got players like Grealish the other night, and there's many players now coming through that have got that. So there's proof really then that it is there and it does work. And obviously, what have you seen over the years how that's been put in place?
Yeah, I think what's happened over the last decade probably is that we've really tried to raise the importance of individual skill. I think in the past there was more of a focus too soon upon teams and formations and strategies and all of that. Whereas for me, your team is only as good as each individual player. And if each individual player's skill is of a much higher level, then I think you're going to get a better team. And so certainly over the coming years, we're going to have a real push towards developing more skillful players. And the part that small-sided football can play in that, particularly for our youngest players, is going to be quite significant.
So you mentioned there like our youngest players, and obviously we have that golden time then when they are learning the game. Where it is, it's really important then to add that to him. But obviously, this shouldn't be only at the young ones to stop. Should they carry it on then throughout?
Yeah, my default setting is always to ensure that foundation phase players get the best possible deal. But there is such a value in older players revisiting small-sided formats, even though their main game might be 11-a-side, because the 11-a-side game is made up of situations and interactions between 2, 3, and 4 players, even though it's on a big pitch and there's 22 players on there. So revisiting small-sided formats as part of your ongoing development, when you might be in the youth development phase and even in the professional development phase, is still really important.
So you mentioned there, obviously, the foundation phase, and obviously I know that's obviously what you do then for the FA. If you just want to give us an overview of what your role is then with the England FA.
I obviously lead on all things nationally for the foundation phase. So players before 5 and up to 11 or 12 years of age. So because we've seen it as a really important part of development, because we get the children first. So we get a chance to really say what potential these children might have with what we do with them in those formative years during the foundation phase. So I just see my role as the most important one, because ultimately you want to make sure that every child has a positive and memorable experience if they choose football.
So, something you said there, and we've spoke about in the past about, being a coach or a teacher or a parent. and let's say that positive impact you have at that young age group, and let's say can determine whether a player then loves football and goes and wants to play it, as some do all the time, or hates it. The total opposite way. Then it's like, no, that's a game that it bores me. It's like it's a fitness course rather than a football session. And we spoke several times then about just making it fun, and that should be the number one part of playing football, especially at the really young age. Is is it fun? Do they enjoy it? Do they finish with a smile on the face? Do they want to come back and do that same thing again?
Yeah, you've raised a really important point, Mike, because children in the foundation phase will tend to vote with their emotions first. So if we develop a really positive relationship with coming to football, feeling good about themselves, feeling as though football is all about people who want to help them become better, and it's all about fun, engagement and enjoyment, I just think we could potentially get more kids for the rest of their lives, because we've lit the blue touch paper on what we call this spirit of football, where you just love it and you love being involved, you love having the ball at your feet, and you just want to stay with it for the rest of your life. I think that's the potential impact that we can have.
No, and it is to say, I'm working with those younger ones. I've done it for years now. It is such a great age to see them, learn and grow and just have fun, and it's just a magical time. Some of them are chasing around, looking at the clouds in the sky, and that's another part of that. Then when the kids are going to play like these bigger format games, even 5v5, there's still only one ball to 10 players. So 9 of them in effect are not engaged with what they want. Whereas then with the smaller stuff, even like the 3v3, as it's, for me, the smallest version of the game that lets you do everything the big game does. Passing, your off the ball moves, you're defending as a group. That has everything involved. There's an even simpler version of the game, which is what we spoke about, and we'll announce now. Then obviously the event that we've planned, and hopefully you're going to be involved with it on the 3rd of Jan. COVID pending. Come on, please, everyone, stay home and let football
get your
come
prayer
back.
mats out.
But if we get this on the 3rd of January, we're going to run two events at the same time. We've got the 3v3, which people I know who know me, I know that I've run this for several years now, and I'll bang the drum at home. Let's say it is just a great version of the game for all ages. But we're also going to trial the 2v2 as well, which is different. People go, oh, it's just the same, but it's one less player. But really, it's 1v1 plus a keeper in it. Then, if you want to explain more about how that format works.
Yeah, there's 2 versions actually, Mike, because you can play 2v2 with a keeper, or you can play 2 players on each team, and when your team hasn't got the ball, one of you goes in goal. But if that player saves the ball or stops the ball, then that player can dribble out, and then your mate might go in goal. So it's very, very fluid. And for the parents or the adults who might listen to this, it is a dribbling game. You are going to see kids wanting to run with the ball, dribble with the ball, score goals themselves, and you might get the occasional pass. As the kids get older, then obviously passing becomes more a feature of the game. But if this 2v2 version is for very young children, then you may not see much passing, and that's perfectly acceptable.
No, so anyone shouting on the sidelines, pass it, it's not going to, it has no
Go get a cup of tea and a biscuit and just enjoy seeing kids dribbling with the ball.
And that's it. And we've been gathering feedback from the events and the game program that we've done over the 3 months or so we've been allowed. And nearly all the feedback that's come back from the players is they're getting more time in the ball, they're involved more, they've got more shooting opportunities, more dribbling opportunities. And you ask a kid, what do you want out of football? I don't think anyone's put, I love standing in defence. I love,
I love being stand on the touchline waiting to come on.
Yeah. I love passing the ball. They all love, they all want to be the dribbler. They all want to score the goals. And this then, that's all it's about, this 2v2 game. And I've called it fun footer off. Obviously something that you said a while back. And it was just that, as just let's go and play, let's say, footer like we did when, we're not similar age, are we? I'm definitely younger, definitely. Yeah. But we go back and we played, and whether you played, on the street, like with me with my brother,
exactly.
And that's all it was. And it was just a 1v1. And I never went home and told my mum and dad that I'd done this great tackle or a great pass. It was always, what goal I'd scored, what skill I'd done, and that's what. That young age, that's all I want to do, and that's all I want to see. And this then, let's say, it almost forced it, because you were talking there about the two different versions of the game, and for me, the format has to be flexible to suit the kids and give them variety. But the main thing is, that they're going to come on the pitch and they're going to have loads of time on the ball, they're going to have loads of chance to dribble, loads of chance to shoot. And just enjoy it, and that's, I say, is the main thing. So, 3rd of January is the day that we do it. Start the new year. All the kids will have
with a bang.
New boots, new kits for Christmas, and we've got loads of other fun things planned for the day. So I'll send out details to people who ask, and obviously it'd be great then if, I say, that yourself come down, Peter, and see what we're doing. Like I say, we've had some great feedback on the farm so far, and this then will just solidify what we have done has worked then.
Super, sounds really exciting, and fingers crossed we'll be coming out of the quarantine and the lockdown and the darkness of 2020, and we can, like you've said, Mike, just start 2021 with a bang.
Brilliant. Well, hopefully the 3rd, if not, like I say, it's an event we will run. But the 3rd is the day that's penciled in so far. But 100%, I'm up for it. I know you're up for it. And like I said, let's get the kids playing this game and scoring loads of goals, doing loads of dribbling, and enjoying football how it should be then.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Mike.
Brilliant. Cheers for your time, Peter, and I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, everyone, and see you in January. Fingers crossed. Take care.